Morning, my fellow human beings. Dion Harper here. I was just watching some news articles, as I tend to do each morning. We're backing ourselves into a corner. We need to be a functioning global community at this point in time so we can work together in regards to our efforts to address our climate change problems. It's not happening, that's not where we're at, and it's a bit of a problem. Well, it's a bit of a problem if we're talking about we're trying to factor in all our future loved ones as yet to come. We need to transition. I'll tell you right now, we need to stabilise our global population. And I've discussed that side of things, its equations in the education system. And we need to transition to a more environmentally friendly objective in regards to what we're aiming for as a global community. Now, it wouldn't be hard for me to name names really. I do it all the time online in regards to who I politely approach, but we can't be running around as, let's say, individual countries exploiting other countries, things like rare minerals, etc., for the purposes of doubling down our efforts to strip mine our way through Earth in pursuit of little more than short-term profit margins-based outcomes. Yes, we do need to access rare minerals, etc., in regards to the transition side of things, but we shouldn't be doing it to double down the approach that we're taking down currently. It's not going to pan out in the long run. Why I'm online, well, who I'm online on behalf of, that's all our future loved ones as yet to come. If we don't make some course corrections, or make a course correction in the here and now, I'm a pretty glass half full sort of chap, but I'm also a realist. It's a done deal sort of scenario if we don't make some course corrections now, read the path we're on as a global community. Seriously, we're a species of mammal and we reside on a finite nature planet. When I was a kid, give or take, a little bit less than half what it is now, global population-wise. We weren't at any risk of, civilization collapsing or anything like that. Earth was in a lot better condition than what it is currently. Since then, we've gone full force with our approach in regards to consuming our way through Earth. Our population's doubled, all our food corridors and freshwater supplies are under duress, and we're backing ourselves into a corner. And when I say we, I mean us as a species, which includes, in my opinion, all our future loved ones as yet to come. If that isn't included, then why are we saying we do what we do for our children and then their children, etc., etc.? So my fellow human beings, I highly recommend we use the internet, all these multimedia platforms that we tend to hang out on these days, and we bring about a discussion in regards to the nuts and bolts side of things. We're all the same species. We've got to factor in our cultures, our personal faiths, etc., but we need to have a discussion in regards to what our long-term objective is. Centuries minimum, in my opinion. So a lot to factor in, obviously, if we're to have that discussion, but we need to start that discussion first. At the moment, these multimedia platforms that, including myself, tend to hang out on, but I'm only online in regards to my plight on activities re climate change. But these multimedia platforms that we use these days, as far as I'm concerned, some more than others, as far as I'm concerned, they're just full of misinformation and disinformation. Now, I'm a big fan of the right to free speech, freedom of speech. But it can be used inappropriately if we don't have some guidelines in place. And as I was just saying, all the misinformation and disinformation that's flying around these platforms currently, some more than others, that's undermining our efforts to address our climate change problems. Very serious climate change problems. If we don't address our very serious climate change problems, it's going to be a big problem for our species into the future. So, the whole idea of free speech and all that is all well and good, but if it's used in, let's say, inappropriate ways in regards to the well-being of our species, then it could be a problem for our species in the long run. And as I just said, You know, we've got a big problem online in regards to, you know, the truth isn't always the truth. I tend to, as best I can anyway, fact check things from multiple angles, best I can, before I even consider making a decision on whatever I'm reading. That's just who I am. I've always been like that. But that's not a bad thing in my opinion. Yeah, it takes me a little bit more time, etc., etc., but I'm happy to do that rather than, you know, go down the rabbit hole as such in regards to whatever I read. So, yeah, my fellow human beings, you know, we need to take a step back. Read the path we're on currently. Seriously, I highly recommend we take a step back. We've got the internet, we don't have to use smoke signals or anything like that. If we really wanted to, we could come together and go, right, we're having a discussion, a serious discussion in regards to what our long-term objective is as a species. You know, factor in our cultures, our personal faiths, etc. We got all these supercomputers these days, which, you know, use a lot of energy, but we could use them to knuckle out the logistics, acquisition, distribution side of things. But, you know, we don't need to do that. There's no point in doing that until we sit down and have a discussion in regards to where we're heading as a global community. What is our long-term objective? So yeah, just passing by, thought I'd quickly say hello. Yeah, that'll do. Just a quick hello today. Regards, Dion. Peace to you and all, including all our future loved ones as yet to come. Gone.